Survival games are one of the most immersive gaming genres on the planet. Punch a tree, grab a rock, collect whatever the heck plant fiber is, and quickly cobble together an axe. 2023 is shaping up to be a pretty strong year for new survival games, and you're gonna need something sharp to hack your way through them. So take a look at the insane new survival games that will come out in 2023 or upcoming years. It's always nice when a survival game skids into another genre entirely. Pacific Drive is a first-person driving survival game where your car is your only companion as you speed through a dangerous and deadly exclusion zone in the Pacific Northwest. INSTINCTION is an action survival game that takes us to a land overrun by dinosaurs. We face both huge dinosaurs and smaller, but faster and more agile creatures. We eliminate reptiles using an extensive arsenal of firearms and cold weapons. Survive on a remote island where a mysterious outbreak awakens bloodthirsty monsters at night. Craft, build, and defend your base in the brutal world of Outbreak Island, an open-world sandbox survival horror game.
I love the smell of the forest in the morning. Nothing invigorates you better than a jog in the fresh air. Living my best life. On my way, I stop for groceries. A hearty and balanced breakfast is the foundation of a productive day. Usually, the selection is not too diverse, but sometimes you come across real delicacies. By the way, I cook breakfast for myself. I have to improvise, but it always turns out finger-licking good. Afterwards, I drive to work. You have no idea how wonderful life is without traffic jams. There I do my routine stuff. Trying my best not to get into any trouble.
Road to Vostok is a hardcore single-player survival game set in a post-apocalyptic border zone between Finland and Russia. Survive, loot, plan, and prepare your way across the border zone and enter the Vostok. Once Human is a multiplayer open-world survival game set in a strange, post-apocalyptic future. Unite with friends to fight monstrous enemies, uncover secret plots, compete for resources, and build your own territory. Once you were merely human, now you have the power to remake the world.
What the hell happened here? Take cover. Class B deviant identified! Open fire! Open fire! Get up now. We've got to get out of here.
Blight Survival is an upcoming co-op action horror roguelite set in an alternate 14th century where war has ravaged the land between two rival cities and created a deadly disease that turns the infected into vicious monsters.
Warming your balls and get over here. Hey, are you listening to me?
Sure, I am.
You're hearing me. You ain't listening.
Leave off, Granger.
Look at him, or I'll make you.
Boy, calm down, will you? Alright, I'm looking.
What did I say then, eh?
Look for the pain.
That's it. That painted armor. Bloody savages, didn't I say?
Yeah, you said it, Granger.
Get off him. Oh, you think he's got blight? Sometimes it's harder to spot, yeah? Gets in your veins first. Clogs up your brain. You're infected before you know it. He's dead. Poor bastard reeks. Probably dead for days. You're new to this. It only gets worse after they're dead. Makes you almost sorry for him. My ass doesn't feel too sorry. Keep looking.
On behalf of the government,
Rooted is a survival TPP set in a post-apocalyptic world. Inspired by the Last of Us series, we play as one of the few survivors of a bacteriological war which took place 20 years before. Each day poses a challenge to survive and better adapt to life in the post-apocalyptic world.
please use the dedicated smartphone app to register yourself and check stocks. You can proceed to go to work, school, and shops around your block. It is crucial to have your ID card with you at all times in case of control. For safety reasons, the Army has deployed autonomous civilian security robots. They are here to protect you.
Wildside is a realistic survival from the debuting Polish VCube studio. The game throws the hero right into the middle of the Bieszczada mountains, forcing him to fight for survival in the forest of Podkarpacy. Unlike many survivors, Wildside offers a storyline layer. Welcome to POSTFROST, a frozen wasteland of our post-apocalyptic world. In this multiplayer game, you and your friends will have to work together to brave the harsh winter conditions and fight off dangerous enemies to survive. The debut shooter of the independent Russian studio GFA Games, inspired by the series S.T.A.L.K.E.R. In Pioner, we play as a former Special Forces soldier trying to survive on the island filled with mutants and anomalies.
So, my dear comrade, are you ready to pay your debt?
The storm has gone, and skies have returned to their regular colors, but the endless storm that took our island into blockade still remains. Yes, the storm doesn't disappear to this day. As survivors, we have somehow adjusted to new ways. We have rebuilt fortifications, shelters. We continue to explore the island and still look for solutions and reasons, but there is always a lot of destruction and hatred among us.
A TPP survival game with RPG elements. Enshrouded is set in a fantasy land, tasking us with surviving and ending an apocalyptic disaster. The game supports single player and multiplayer for up to 16 people.
It is earned. The ones before you were fools. They pillaged the earth for a magical elixir and unleashed a ruinous blight. My newborn flame. Master the staff. The bow, the shield, and the blade. For in the fog, weakness is a feast for the mighty.
The Lost Wild is an immersive and cinematic dinosaur survival game that captures the reverence and terror of nature's most magnificent beast. Come face to face with dinosaurs that behave like wild animals, not monsters. Serum is an FPP survival game in which we play the protagonist, who explores a stylized locations, acquires valuable resources, and uses the title substance, which increases his chances of survival while causing various mutations.
In order to survive, you need to inject yourself with Serum, and that's where the game's unique brewing system comes into play. By mixing and matching different types of substances, you can unlock dozens of powers and hidden abilities that will help you survive. To extract the liquid, you'll need to gather plants and hunt down mutated animals that lurk in the shadows. You also find mysterious notes and blueprints left behind by someone that has been there before. Use those to craft devices, weapons, and deadly traps. Uncover the truth about the dark mysteries of this world and prepare for the final encounter.
Immerse yourself in the world of Dinos Reborn and feel like a dinosaur hunter. Danger awaits you at every turn. Think fast and don't hesitate, because every second lost can turn you from hunter to prey. Primitive is a survival game set in the Stone Age where players enter a world filled with wild creatures as well as Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. The players need to find a way to survive the inhospitable environments by improving their gear, communication, and hunting strategies. Ferocious is a new dinosaur hunting survival shooter with an emphasis on realism. The game also goes for a photorealistic aesthetic with its lush forest and water effects. Along the way, players will also be able to look for secrets that hint that there might be other humans in the area as well.
We were always inspired by mysterious places frozen in time that you may have seen in movies like King Kong and Jurassic Park. We aim to marry the setting and its unique gameplay opportunities with classic first-person shooter mechanics, similar to early installments of franchises like Far Cry and Crysis. The flexibility of the Unity engine allows us to create unique solutions to some of the environmental features, such as custom water effects and realistic vegetation. We use a mix of photo-scanned and handcrafted assets to create a world both scary and beautiful. However, there are some things waiting for you in the jungle that we couldn't find any real-world references for. So we had to improvise.
Survival MMO game which takes us to the post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. In the day before, we explore the vast map, search for useful or valuable goods, and fight for survival, facing both hordes of the living dead and other players. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl is the open-world survival FPS game that takes immersive survival mechanics like hunger, sleeping, bleeding, radiation effects that enrich the gameplay, and dynamic day-night cycle, and weather will add even more realism to the gameplay experience. Frostpunk 2 is the sequel to the highly acclaimed, BAFTA-nominated Society survival game that blended city building, strategy, and management gameplay. It takes place 30 years after the apocalyptic blizzard storm, and Earth is still overwhelmed by the never-ending frost and harsh, icy climates.
Direction. And sacrifice. But for every man who fulfills his calling, there are thousands left with nothing. It's them who knock and open the door to hell.
The zombie apocalypse may be the pinnacle of survival horror, and the State of Decay franchise does it in a unique way. For these survival horror games, you play a character who is searching for resources and other survivors in an open world setting riddled with zombies. ARK 2 thrusts players into a brutal new world of primitive survival against both beast and man, facing down the ever-present threats of an unearthly planet